Hello and welcome, and let's do a Litecoin update starting within the 1 minute time frame. Like always, everything within your own risk and your own reward. Myself, I am in need for the day of transferring Bitcoin to Bittrex to give myself more buying power, basically. As you buy stuff, your Bitcoin numbers go down. That means you even put buy orders in, your number goes down. I didn't even put my Ripple buy order in because I can't really afford it. So I managed to get a bit of Bitcoin onto my Bittrex site without ever making a transfer within this move, as the price was quickly shooting up to the 206 handle. And when I seen that, I went to another exchange and I was able to pick up this buying 3.65 and change Litecoin for 0.0743 change Bitcoin. And I did so at 0032 hours, or 32 minutes after the hour. And then about 3 minutes later, I was able to sell 3.61 and change Litecoin for 0.0743 and change Bitcoin. So there's my transfer. I transferred 0.074. What did it cost me? Well, I gained actually. I gained about 0.03 Litecoin and change to do such. Now, it really wasn't fun. There was a time differential of the 32 and the 35. I'm going to explain that right now. As within this movement, the ask price was in the low 206 and the bid price was in the low 205. So therefore, I was trying to just get my sale as quickly as possible and putting the, well, basically the highest number I possibly could without that many Litecoin ahead of me. So I put my ask offer in and it wouldn't go. People would put some asks in front of me and then some decent sized ones. I had to take it off, put it in. I had to remove about 2 or 3 times before I finally got my transaction. I'm glad I did, because you might only have so much time, or you can try to do it and you actually might have to pay a little bit of Litecoin for a transfer. Because if I had to sell now, I would have actually paid a little bit at the 204 handle. We'll go back to the charts in a little bit, but I want to show you my spreadsheet, which I use to track other coins against Litecoin. And it shows Dash, ZEC, Extrabytes, Komodo, Voxels, Potcoin, Lomo Coin, and Omi's Go. The day over day, and this is before the move. This is where the price was at 202 handle. So about an hour before, maybe 2. I updated it last from live time. So the majority of the coins outperformed Litecoin within the day, as Litecoin obviously was a down day, going from 213 to 202, losing 11 basis points or 5.5% against Bitcoin. So therefore, Komodo was the only one that lost, and it was only a bit more against that price amongst, of course, these coins. Omi's Go really separates itself, up 14% against the rest of the field today, but most importantly, it's actually up and up decently over the last 10 days, where everything else against Litecoin is down significantly. But Litecoin is up over the last 10 days as well. This lets me know how far the market is from where the 18 average is. So if it's at anywhere near these higher numbers, then it's giving you indication that you might want to consider buying or selling within it. So I look at Omi's Go. This is something I bought via Bitcoin, but I'm going to continue trading this the rest of the way via Litecoin. So therefore, when this gets to a phenomenal sell opportunity, then I will look to do what's needed. Now, in a situation where, say, Litecoin goes up an enormous amount against Bitcoin, which is basically 40–50% or more. If that happens and Omi's Go happens to do the same sort of thing, then I kind of have no choice but to trade it against Bitcoin. So I'm always going to adjust to what the message of the market will present itself. Let's go back to the charts. 60-minute time frame. I don't have a line in this area, but this is the key spot. And which you buy. I actually haven't bought back at this stage. I thought about it a little bit, and if I don't get it in, that's okay. but I have reduced my, so I can't see it on this chart, I have reduced my buy order just a little bit lower at this stage. And I'm also doing it on a smaller exchange, so sometimes you get fills in when you're not supposed to, meaning assuming that the market falls to 194 hypothetically, and you got an order in at 190, maybe on the smaller exchange it might go through, but it can work both ways. Maybe the market does bottom at the 190 level on Bittrex and the main ones as well, but it only stays there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes or less. And then it goes back up, and maybe you have a buy order in at that lower level too, like 1902. And this thing maybe fell to like 1891, but it only stayed below 190 for say 30 seconds. And it shot up again to say a little bit higher, maybe 3 minutes later. On the smaller exchanges, there might be a chance that no one will take that bid. Okay, so those are just the ways of looking at it. That's how I'm positioning myself for that. I do not have a sell order anymore at the 212 handle. I'm looking to sell at 225 and 235. That would be very small amounts, especially if this thing rallies from this point, because one of the mistakes, I'm not going to call it mistakes actually, but one of the things I notice is when I get caught up in key levels that just keep hitting it, that you just can't make much profit long term by selling up here in the next rise higher, because there's a decent chance that this thing could just go well above it on any rally going further. But even furthermore, your amount of support tests, the further you test resistance, you're just going to be oftentimes making higher lows. So if you make a move up to like 235, you might be lucky to get back to 220. That's the type of scary part about selling in areas when you're at points where you've been there several times before, which is what the case is. Now, if you're playing the range game, and there's nothing wrong with that, that's when you see a long ways sideways consolidation, and how you play the range game. And I know that Price is Right has maybe a name like that. I don't know. I think that's where I've heard it before. But anyway, you just buy at the lower end. So you're buying at around 200 down to 192, and you'd be looking to sell basically, I guess you could sell small at 220, but no, you're really looking to sell mainly between 230 and this upper range of 250 if you're playing that range game. And it'll keep on winning until it doesn't. And when it doesn't win, that means it keeps going higher. And if that's all you're doing, you're going to sell at, say, 249 and change, and you'll be out, and you'll put your buy orders in, and you'll see the next thing you know, it's 349 and change, and you just lost it. But no, you didn't lose it. You still get your gains. And then, of course, if it breaks to the downside, that means you're buying at these levels, and then the price might go down from, say, 0.019 to 0.013, and then you have to decide, what are you going to do from there? Are you going to sell for a loss? Are you going to try to put a sell order at a break-even stage or some sort of higher number? Are you going to buy more? And that's going to be all part of the strategy you do. For me, I'm playing this for the long-term time frame, but I'm only doing small trades here and there. So I'm looking to say, okay, let's sell 3 here, 5 here. Oh, the price is at 280. Okay, let's put another 7 in. Oh, the price is at 350. Okay, put about 25 in, 30 in. Oh, the price is okay, it's at like 0.1. Okay, put another 60 in. Oh, the price is at 0.02 or 0.2. Okay, sell 100. And that's literally almost how it would be for me. Just keep on selling more and then sell aggressively when you get to these significant levels. All right then, so let's just talk further about this 18. What I like to see about this from the move that was going lower, which started yesterday in the morning and has basically stopped going down based on it has now spent since its first, well not first, but since its last move to the 18 average, which was done so this morning at 10 in the morning. So for almost 1/2 of a day, it has been in this sideways range, staying within the 18 enough that it is now flattened out. So you've established a short-term level of resistance, a short-term level of support. You could be playing the range game here on the short-term level as you wish, but the percentage move is only like 2% from top to bottom. And then when you see moves breaking above it, your next status is establishing levels of resistance. The most likely spot where resistance would be done so is at this level here at about 212. And then from there, you're oftentimes going to resist that area and then build a bullish setup where the 18 average will start to rise. It'll thus start to find higher lows. You'll start to talk about nice, beautiful patterns here and there. And that would be the case. Or it goes up to this level and it doesn't find resistance and it's just going to shoot up and hit another big level of resistance relatively quickly. Those are the normal situations. And of course, just looking at the contrary or the polarizing effect of an up move, which is you have your sideways consolidation after a decent down move. And then you would be looking for a break of support that it could fuel enough energy for another wave of sellers lower. You get some people who don't believe this first leg lower. Okay, that's just your whatever wave of people selling big money. It's just whatever. They just take a little bit of profit, or the weak ones, or the weak are getting out. And then they see it goes down again. It's like, oh, wait a second here. Is this the start of something bad? And you're going to trigger some people to sell. And the key word is only going to be some people. And the more weak hands that get taken out of the market, the deeper it'll eventually go. But we've seen with a lot of these cryptos and markets in general, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. And any time you stop, you could you're either going to do the opposite or you're going to go sideways. There's no other choices. So in this case, it went down and it went sideways. So it can only continue to go sideways from here, go up, or go down. Okay, so let's take a look at this on a different time frame. And we'll use the daily chart. And considering how all the other altcoins, or most of them, are doing in this time frame, with all of them having this nice December rally, and then of course a lot of them going through down moves, this one hasn't done so. So therefore you had a beautiful sideways range and through here. So this is where the bulls had a turn. And then intraday, or within such, you had the bears down, bulls up, bears down, bulls up. But the entire run was almost like the passing the dice, but nobody's taking it. So the game's in pause mode during the session. And then you've now had this one in here. So just one small move by the bulls. Bulls have a good turn. Nothing happens for a while. Bulls have one play within the turn, bringing it up, and it's just been doing nothing ever since. So this 1 day gain that happened on February the 14th, on St. Valentine's Day, it has held this, it is not broken below where it came from. It hasn't extended the gains. It's basically established support where it broke out from. And generally speaking, in a pattern like this, it's rare that you're going to have some decent consolidation or much at all from this point, although you very much easily, even on a bullish level, can. I mean, there's a decent amount of gap fill in here, but I look at this as a productive stage. Technical analysis stating this makes sense that there's a good chance this thing will get going. Now, if you want to wait for that type of confirmation, you're just confirming that it's doing something like getting above the 18 average and that it's in a very good probability state. It would have to be at around 226 for this to be the case. So you're basically paying a little over 10% more at this current price level now to give yourself that status of having better confirmation. And by doing such, you avoid a situation where this 18 average of lows doesn't find support, or if it does, it doesn't have that great of a rally, maybe only goes up 10 or so basis points, like 214 or whatever, and then goes lower. You avoid having any type of decline within it. That's the risk reward, or just looking at both sides of the fence if you're looking to get in. Do I buy now? It's at the 18 average. If you look at the pattern of higher highs and higher lows, you're obviously in a major primary uptrend. And key low, and you have a key high. I guess this would be the obvious higher low, and well, I guess maybe not too obvious because you got this low in here, but still barely higher, lower high. How many times when you see a correctionary move like this that you would see the higher low in a bull market, and then the next move from there would probably be a break above here, break above here, and oh my goodness, what a great set of 1, 2, 4, 5, or however many relatively quick amount of days that would manifest itself thereafter, because the chart patterns would tell you it's not a surprise to happen. And really, the charts don't say, oh, this is definitely going to happen. No, but it could or does actually say that the chances of a particular event are more or less likely to happen based on how it's going through. So the chances that this thing has a phenomenal breakout in the near-term future without much more of a decline is pretty darn near good as I'm reading these charts. Again, everything within your own risk, own reward. I'm taking a decent sized risk with Litecoin by having it greater than 50% of my portfolio. I'm taking a decent amount of risks by not profit taking as much as I could, but I'm doing so because I'm very confident as we move into this year, and most likely even into 2019, that the cryptocurrency markets, especially based on just buying low and selling high within other markets, are going to easily outperform the precious metals markets, and thus better buying days are coming. But one way I look at it, just even for purchasing, is as a day trader. If you realize, oh, I just made, say, a couple grand. Well, let's buy maybe $1,000 worth of silver and maybe use a little bit of it as money, maybe another 1,000. Buy some groceries, get some gas in the car, buy some, go to a restaurant one night, maybe go to a clothing store or whatnot, and realize that many of those stores, it's extremely easy for me at this time to purchase items from there by using a means to an end, using that of Litecoin. And I don't even need to transact with Bitcoin to do such anymore. That is an amazing, amazing thing. So for me, on a tangible level, Litecoin, as is Bitcoin, is just as tangible for me, which is a very important thing for money, as that of gold and silver. It's the exact same thing. In fact, it's easier. It's better in the sense that having to store precious metals, especially silver, when you consider how much 10 pounds, 100 pounds, 500 pounds weighs, and how it's a little bit of work to store. Storing cryptocurrencies in hardware wallets, you don't need as much space. And then, of course, storing your private keys in strategic spots, again, you don't need as much space as well. And you are protected from metal detectors with cryptocurrencies. But the whole point is that it's just as tangible. As far as a medium of exchange, well, right now at this stage, Litecoin is by far a tremendous medium of exchange. Silver could be just as good if it can get its ass on the blockchain, because technically speaking, if I wanted to buy a cup of coffee with silver, then it should easily be done so. You could easily have an account or just coins, sort of like the coins in a crypto, and it might cost you 0.0 whatever amount of ounces of silver. And then in your account, if you ever want to get physical, whichever way it would be done, then if you got over 100 ounces in your account, then you can get a bunch of ounces delivered to you. And however they would work it out with premiums, it could all easily be done. But the whole point of it is Litecoin has all of the tangible properties. Now, as far as the big one, store of value, I highly at this time consider silver to be a larger store of value. It's just on the current time frame, mathematical probability odds for profit potential. Cryptocurrencies are extremely high right now. But as far as its store of value, silver obviously has it. Does Litecoin have it? It has the exact same store of value to me as something like a operating system does for a computer. Does it work for you? What can you do with it? That's your tangible use. Because really, tangible use and what you actually can do with it, what its real purpose is to me, its store of value. So if you're holding something like silver, even though you personally have no idea how to melt it and make things with it, you know there are professionals who can, and there are people who will buy it because they need it. So you know it does have tangible value. If you have rice, if you are able to sell it, use it in any forms, it has tangible value. And of course, cryptocurrencies. Again, you can use it. It's got when you have it, it's already set up with its ledger system as it's detailed. But that's what it is. So, thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.